Today, we are going to talk about what to do when you're hijacked by stress. Shout out, this was a request, a video request, so I am excited to be doing it. I think we've all been there. You're totally hijacked. You're overwhelmed. You don't even know what to do next. I'm personally going through something stressful right now. So, actually, this video really helps me as well. So, we're going to be talking about various practical things that you can do in the moment to help eradicate or at least reduce your stress. And let me tell you, this is a superpower. The amount of times in my life, this is not to like shame other people, but I have had a lot of different times in my life where I was not smarter than the other person. I was not more skilled. In fact, I was less talented than them. And just because I reacted better to stress, I came out on top. And I think that you will find this in various facets of life. The way that you react to stress is going to change your life, and it's going to change your life significantly. So, we're going to get into it. Thank you for watching. This channel is all about self improvement, but making it practical and tangible. I think a lot of self improvement content, it's very conceptual and abstract and high level. I want to make tangible tips that we can immediately put into our life. So, I also have a psychology research background and a project management background. So, that all comes together to hopefully make mindset and growth fun and tangible. So, let's get into it. So when stress hijacks you, you may notice a worse version of yourself. Maybe you're treating other people worse. You're definitely going to be treating yourself worse. And stress is not a weakness. It is biology. We have this because of evolution. In many ways, it does help us, like the fight or flight response. But unfortunately, in the modern day, we overuse these fight or flight responses in situations where there isn't like a lion about to attack us, of course. So we're going to talk about some tools, but first, some stress 101. Your nervous system will flip to fight, which may manifest itself as irritated or snappy. Flight may be avoidance or procrastination, or freeze. I think that we don't talk about freeze as much. It's sort of like avoidance, but it might be brain fog, feeling very unsure of where to start, doom scrolling. I think with the digital age that we are in, unfortunately, it's very easy to freeze and avoid our responsibilities. But you can't think your way out of stress. You have to signal your way out to your body. Sort of relates to what I spoke about yesterday, which was about visceral and somatic intelligence. But you can use that as well to fight stress. So, stress fighting rule number one is to change your breath first. So, if you've ever heard of the physiological sigh, Dr. Andrew Huberman talks a lot about this. It is a double inhale through the nose and a long, slow exhale. So, for example, it might just be like, like it is literally as simple as that. And honestly, I literally feel slightly more relaxed, which I know sounds crazy, but try it for yourself and you can see for yourself about how it works. So it works because a long exhale activates the vagus nerve and it physically slows your heart rate. So I know I have like a meditation photo here, but that's the beauty of something like a physiological sigh or even a little bit of box breathing is that, you don't have to sit down for a full meditation. You could do this between meetings. You could do this, in the car. Like it's super easy and super accessible. Stress fighting rule number two is to use muscle tension on purpose. So, stress is like sort of trapped energy and you have to move it out. So, for example, you could do a full body clench, which is where you kind of like contract all your muscles at once for 10 seconds and then release. Or alternatively, you might have heard of the wall push before. So you literally push your palms into a wall for 20 to 30 seconds. I've heard people also do this like when they're having a panic attack or something. Again, I do want to say though, I'm not a doctor. So obviously panic attacks, that can be scary. So consult your medical professional. But I'm just saying that even if you're stressed, yeah, a full body clench or a wall push can be really effective at really immediately producing some sort of relaxation benefit. So your body thinks you're still in danger because the stress never got discharged. So think of it as moving energy out of your system. Moving on to stress fighting rule number three, it is to ground through the senses. So when stress is spiraling, you need anchoring, not analysis. I think we are so used to like ruminating or trying to rationalize our way out of things. I am very guilty of this too, definitely an overthinker. But I think that sometimes you can't think your way out of something. You have to feel your way out of something. So the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 grounding, which is sight, touch, sound, smell, and taste. So use your senses, connect with something in the room. Or maybe you put on maybe you put on yeah, like some music or something like that, whatever would relax you. Name three solid objects around you. This is like mindfulness exercise, kind of. It's like just connecting with the room, etc. Um, Press feet into the floor and describe the sensation. So again, that's more. It's like I guess a kinesthetic sensory thing. Or hold something heavy, which is kind of interesting, like a mug, a book, or dumbbell. So again, it's connecting with your senses and sort of getting yourself out of your head. Stress fighting rule number 4 is to shrink the time horizon. So, stress explodes when everything feels urgent and infinite. So, for example, what only needs 5 minutes right now? Ask yourself that. What is something you can hit off of your list and get done in 5 minutes? Then set a 5 to 10 minute container or timer, not a to do list, and just say, I'm going to get that one thing done. So, decide the next visible action, not the outcome. You can't think, like, oh my God, how am I going to fix my life? You should really just, like, that's just so overwhelming. You need to just pick a step and do it and try to hone in on that step without zooming out and seeing the big picture of all the chaos that's going around you. I'm afraid that a messed up number. Stress fighting rule number 5 is cues that calm the body. So I know that coffee actually like would increase your heart rate and everything. I just put it down as an example. For me, coffee is a very feel good thing, a very mindful thing for me. So for me, it relaxes me to get coffee, which I know probably counterintuitive for many, but just goes to show, find your thing. Maybe it's a bit of stretching. Maybe it is 10 minutes of reading. Maybe it is listening to some music or trying to tackle a task that you were overwhelmed by with a podcast in. Maybe it's drawing, doodling, like even if you take 5 minutes to do something like that, that's feel good and it impacts your ability to be productive later, then it might be worth those 5 or 10 minutes that you are not working and setting aside time to go do something for yourself. So, in terms of what regulation looks like in real life, before it was probably overreacting, ruminating, overthinking, avoiding the important things you need to do, feeling behind, and extremely scattered. But after it is the same stressors, but more access to patience, clarity, and self trust. So, regulation doesn't remove pressure, it gives you capacity. And as I mentioned before, again, this is absolutely not to like, down other people, but I have been in situations in my life where I was literally less talented, less smart, less skilled than somebody else, but I just came on top because I was very, like, I'm very emotionally regulated because of stuff like this. So I think that your ability to react to stress, it is 110% a superpower and necessary in this world. So if you can convey that to yourself and others, that is a massive asset and a massive advantage. So make stress regulation your baseline skill. You don't need more motivation hacks. You need nervous system literacy. Stress regulated people look confident because they are accessible to themselves. So we'll leave you with that inspiration today. What if you became that person that people see as extremely resilient and stress regulated?